It's your girl, Hope Your TV Movie Bestie, and I watch good shit. And I just got done watching this week's episode of House of the Dragon. Now, y'all, I know after this episode, Rhaenyra was like, what was I thinking? Why did I want to come here? Why did I want to sit on this throne? Like, I know I'm the rightful heir. I'm supposed to be the queen, but I don't want this. I know she was like, Damon, let's go on back to Dragonstone, because what was I thinking? This? No man. Woo, y'all, let's get into it. Lord Omen, him and his troops, they come up, they approach Damon. He reticent to bend the knee. And he's like, I know Rhaenyra is sitting on the throne. He kind of ready to fight. But he like, I got all these people behind me. And in order to preserve their lives, I'm going to go ahead, submit. Before he takes off and leave, Damon like, hey, let us get Darren. I can't have a son of Aegon roaming free. He got to come with us. So Armand send him. He goes back with Damon to King's Landing. Damon get to King's Landing. He report Lord Omen has surrendered. They done took the prince. And Rhaenyra like, okay, cool. I'm gonna reign just like my father would have wanted. And they preparing to get her crowned. Rhaenyra, so she goes to Darren and she's like, hey Darren, you know I'm your half sister, right? But you are a prisoner. And he ain't saying nothing. He just quiet. And she's like, okay, so what you know about them trying to keep me off the throne? Like, what's the plan? What you know? He ain't saying nothing. He just quiet. He looking down. And she like, you a prisoner, but how you will be treated here depends on your conduct. So what you got for me? Still nothing. And Damon like, yeah, we gonna have to kill him. It ain't no questions right now. He got to go. Corlys and Soren, they come to Rhaenyra and they like, girl, the treasury gone. They ain't no gold. Syria, she's like, Rhaenyra, I know you're trying to have a coronation, but you know, your people, they starving. How would that look, you having this grand, extravagant ceremony and your people ain't got no food to eat? She like, you right. Send a raven to all the great houses and tell them their queen demands a tribute. Get some money in here. And where Aemon? And they like, we don't know. We ain't seen Aemon or his dragon. So she like, y'all better keep looking for him. Tell you what, whoever find Aemon, I just give them Aaron. They can have it. Rats taking over the castle. I said, what? They living in squalor? So rats just running everywhere. They done ate a huge stash of the candles. I said, oh Lord. The people like, Rhaenyra, we gonna be in the dark pretty soon because we ain't got enough candles. Rhaenyra, she go to Alicent and she like, hey girl, what you know about that money? Where the treasury at? She like, I don't know. She said, okay, what you know about Sheep Stealer or Aemon or Larys? And Alicent like, look, I don't know. I don't know nothing. I did what I was supposed to. I got Aemon out of here and you got in here and took over the throne. So I ain't got nothing else for you, girl. She's like, okay, you know, I'm still looking for Aegon. And so Alicent said, look, girl, nobody know what Aegon looked like. Baby, he went through hell. And his dragon is dead. So just declare him dead as well. And if he happens to pop up somewhere, just say he's a liar. And they're like, okay. Alicent, I just want you to know that I'm going to let you go free once Aemon has been found and killed. Alicent like, so the only way I'm going to get out of here is for you to find and kill my son? Oh, joy, oh bliss. Mary's like, look, Alicent, I'm doing the best I can. I can't be seen helping y'all. I said, Alicent, baby, life ain't no crystal stair. You better be glad you still alive, because otherwise you could be dead, just like your daddy. Rhaenyra, she likes this idea of saying Aegon is dead, because she like, who gonna check me, boo? She go to the guard and she's like, we finna have Aegon declared as dead. And while you at it, go on and get Joffrey, my son, because he at the Vale and he next in line. He finna be my heir. He need to be raised up here. As she's walking through King's Landing, She sees the vision of Jace. She thinks she sees him and it stopped her dead in her tracks. And then she said, you know what? I should kill Darren. And they done killed all my children. Yeah, I think I might kill Darren. She goes to Septon because she wants to be anointed as the new queen. And he's like, well, I already anointed Aegon. He the rightful king. And she's like, okay, well, he's dead. I was like, well, where his body at? And ain't nobody tended to him. He didn't have a proper burial. And she's like, why are you concerned about this? Dragons came to me. He said, whoa, I don't do the dragons. And she said, what? He said, yeah, I don't believe that the dragons got good in them. They evil. I don't know what you're doing, but I would suggest you don't make an enemy of the faith because you do so at your own peril. And she's just like, fine, forget it. Just don't even worry about annoying me. Just, bye. So Corlys, he sit down with Rhaenyra and he tells her Alan and Adam are his sons. She's like, what? Your sons? Adam and Alan, the only two black people on the show. They your sons, who is also the only black man. Oh, I never would have known. I said, Rhaenyra, girl, I died when she said that. She was like, what? Like, she was genuinely shocked. Corlys is like, look, they deserve more than what they've been given. And I want you to legitimize them and give them my name. Make them lords of the realm. Because without it, my legacy is going to end with me. Right there, just looking. I said, uh-oh. She walked through the castle again. She run into Lady Baela. And she looked at her and keep it moving. I said, po thing. She can't even speak to her. So Rhaenyra, she gets dressed. They're like, hey, you want to put your jewels on? Because, you know, she going before the people. And she said, no. I don't want to show, you know, luxury. I'm showing my strength. And she's like, get my sword. Her lady is like, I don't know if you want to get the sword. Like, come humbly before the people. But Rhaenyra's like, oh, you right. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go like this. So she getting dressed and then she's like, fuck. And the lady like, what's going on? And she said, I got my period. And I thought, if this ain't the worst time, baby, we don't have time for cramps, for headaches, for irritability. All these people already getting on her nerves. She got a lot going on. She got a lot of stress on her. And now this crippling her with cramps. I said, I'll be damn, Mother Nature. So the lady like, don't worry, I'll go get the cloths. She goes before the people and she hears like their grievances. One lady, she come and she's asking for money. She's like, we ain't got no sheep. I said, doggone sheep stealer, eating them all up. Then another guy, he comes saying they ain't got no animals. They starving. Another lady, she come and Rhaenyra's just like, what you ain't got? Like, what you need? And she said, well, I ain't coming about money. She said, I'm coming about justice. And at first Rhaenyra was like, thank God, she don't want no money. Then she said, wait, what justice? What are you talking about? And she's like, you know, part of the reason we don't have nothing is because the nobles, they were hoarding all the supplies and whatnot. Us low people, we ain't have nothing. And I said, oh, time to eat the rich. I'm coming to my queen to say, you supposed to take care of your people, right? What you gonna do about this? And Rhaenyra's just like, I didn't know. Thank you for telling me. Okay, next. Meanwhile, sheep stealer, he still ain't been found. Daemon and Mysaria, they get to debating about what should be done about the people and their woes. Because she's like, y'all, they got a lot of problems. Asked Corlys, what you think? And he said, I defer to you, queen. And she said, useless. You know what? Let me do something I do know how to do. So she goes and she knights the new dragon riders. She giving everybody their names. She get to Adam. She don't give him Corlys' name. He kind of like, my daddy said, but he let it go. We only 3 episodes in and I'm already sick of him. So he come and he's like, hey, what kind of living arrangements we about to get right now? And she said, what now? And he's like, where I'm gonna live at. And she said, oh yeah. We'll get you a house. And he said, when? And she's like, as soon as I can. You and your wife. And he said, well, my wife ain't here no more. It wasn't nothing for her here, so she left. And she said, okay, well, go find her. And then as soon as I can, I get to both of y'all a house. I'm like, damn, dude, read the room. She got a lot going on. You get in the house, King's Landing big as hell. Pick any room in here. Goodness gracious. Poor little Rainier. She just kind of hanging on. They done brought her some little tea. I said, baby needs some Midol and a heating blanket and a nap. But this worst day ever. In my mind, all I could think this whole episode was like that little Sarah McLachlan commercial with the little dogs and the cats, where it's like, in the arms of the angel, run away from here. That's all I can hear this whole episode. Just damn, Rainier. Allison, she comes in and Rainier's like, what you want? And she's like, look, I just want to know if my daddy can be sent to Old Town, his remains, so that he can be buried next to my mama. Rainier like, okay, yes, we can do that. Rainier's like, I heard the woes of the people today. And Alice said, oh yeah, there are many. And she said, yeah, how did you bear this weight? Like, how did you deal with it? And Allison gave her some real talk. And she was like, girl, you gonna rule, but you may find that you are no longer yourself. You gonna have to turn your face away sometimes. And some people gonna have to suffer. Some people gonna have to die. And Rainier's like, no. I refuse to believe that I will become something I'm not. Allison said, oh, okay, well, time to tell. And I was like, you better take it from somebody that done already been there, Rainier. Rainier decides she's gonna hold a dinner for the nobles. I knew immediately what this was finna be. I said, she finna serve them these rats because she mad at them about hoarding all these supplies from the town folk. Sure enough, she bring out the food and they're like, what is this? Rats everywhere. I said, well, at least they done got rid of some of them. She's like, well, this is what my people ate while y'all was hoarding everything in the storehouse. They're like, look, we was afraid. What would you have us do? Starve? And she said, no, I would have no one starve. I would have those who have much give to those who have less. While y'all having dinner, your houses are being raided and anything that's found to be in excess, it will be taken, brought back here, and I will distribute it among the people. And they like, the hell? And she's like, what you say? Because I'm queen. You can consider this a duty that the crown demands of you. That's it. Get out of here. And Sir Tom, he over in the corner drinking, and he just laughed. This is so funny. And she's like, what you sniggling and giggling about? And he's like, no, maybe they'll forget that it was your barricade that caused the shortage of bread in the first place. And I said, oh, touche. She was like, well, okay, Tom, just know that my memory is long. And in other words, don't fuck with me, Tom. So Damon, he watching the people bring in all of the excess and he find it funny too. You know the nobles, they gonna resent you for this. And she's like, I don't care. I'm queen. He's like, and it also is not going to solve the problem permanently. It'll solve it for a few weeks and then what we're going to do. And she's like, I know. I need you to ride. I need you to go to the Vale. I need you to ask Lady Jane for some of her coins because she was supposed to send us a sword and she didn't. So now she can pay with her money. And Damon like, dang, you done came so far and you still don't know who you are. And I was just like, this is true. Like, she has done so much. She has taken the throne, and yet she still is fighting for crumbs. He says, have you ever heard about the city at the end of the world where men have wings? And she said, yeah, when I was little, I used to always want to go there. And he said, we will. And those men will serve us. They will serve you. And we will stand as gods. And she's like, Damon, we got to get King's Landing together first. Like, we ain't got time to go conquering the world. Just let's do this one thing at a time. And he like, all right. He walk off and he like, by the way, you still got to kill Darren. And I said, he is not going to let that go. So Miss Saria, she's talking to Rainier and she's like, it seems you've buried your grief. Rainier's like, I ain't buried nothing. I feel nothing. Oh, I take that back. I feel rage. I am going to look down on those who killed my son one day. I will definitely do that. She stand before her people. She start passing out food, bread. She tells them that the usurper, he's been vanquished. All his followers, they gone as well. And she now sits on the throne. They rejoicing, yay. Now Corliss, he big mad about her not giving Adam his name. She's like, I can't do this right now. I just cannot do that, Corliss. And he said, I done gave everything I had. And it's the one thing I've asked of you. Least we forget when your own children's legitimacy was being questioned and I stood for you then. And she's like, I know. And I thank you for that. But I am early in my reign and I cannot be seen as legitimizing those that have been born outside of noble betrothal. He said, Rhaenyra, you insult me in my house. Tell me this. Tell me why your children deserve something that you are denying my own children. And she just, because she can't say nothing. Like, Corliss is dead ass right. And she's like, I'm sorry, maybe later when there's not so much scrutiny. And there she go to Alicent. She tell her about Darren. And Alicent's like, you got Darren? And she said, yeah. And she said, well, what you gonna do with him? And she said, well, I could have killed him, but I have decided I'm gonna send him up north to the wall. And he's not gonna be allowed to return, but at least he'll be alive. And she's like, oh my gosh. You know, I haven't seen him but once in the past 5 years. Would like to see him before he goes. So Rhaenyra grants her this wish and they go in the room. Alicent come in and she looking like, who this? Rhaenyra said, whoa. You don't know this child. Alicent said, Because mind you, Darren ain't spoke nothing the whole episode. So she said, oh, hell no. I know Laura Oman did not do this. Talk, boy, talk. He's just like, okay, he compelled me to do it. Laura Oman, he told me that I had to come here and I had to pretend to be the prince and that I couldn't say anything or he would hang my mother, my real mama. And Rhaenyra is like, okay, what's his plan? And she like, I don't know. She look at Alicent. Alicent said, hell, I've been here with you. I don't know. Rhaenyra's like, oh my gosh. So then the guards come in and they like, hey, it's a man out here. He want to talk to you. And she's just like, what now? So she go outside and she's like, what do you want? And he said, well, the High Towers, they've taken Tumbleton. She said, what? He said, yeah, they holding everybody hostage. I barely escaped. She said, what about the little dragon? He said, oh yeah, they done took that too. She's like, these motherfuckers. So she said, you know what? I'm going to burn them. I'm going to burn the whole city down. And he's like, so you going to burn them and your people? Because your people hoping that you would be merciful. And she's just like, what is we going to do? And meanwhile, she just watching all of the High Towers stuff, all they things and they emblems. She watching it burn. And I just said, what a fucking day, Rhaenyra. Ooh. This episode I thought was really good, even though like it wasn't a lot of action or fighting. You know, we done had a lot of that in the first 2 episodes, but this was still a lot. I said, Rhaenyra, what are you gonna do? Never mind all the shit going on. You might have to fight people, kill. Trouble in the city. Your own house is a mess. What y'all think of this week's episode? I made a video on Rhaenyra's thoughts because I know she was just sick to death this whole episode. So y'all go watch that and laugh at it. But let me know what you thought of this week's episodes in the comments below. I'm your TV movie bestie. I'm on all the socials. Like, subscribe, and follow. And I will see y'all on the next show, on the next episode. Bye, besties.